like 40 feet, 30 feet across. It was a pretty big river. It was flowing fast, and the water temperature was probably about 35 degrees. It was cold. So I was washing a pot out from breakfast in the river while Brad was doing some fishing. And I look behind me back into the woods, and I see this sort of black figure just kind of darting between trees, and it was big. So I told Brad, and it's like, I think I might have just saw a bear. Smoke's hitting me in the eyes here. But not sure if he believed me at first, but he looked back, and then we both saw this big black bear just darting between two trees. And then we're just like, oh crap, it's a bear. You know, that was our first time ever seeing a bear in the wild, and it was kind of scary. I mean, now that we're a bit more experienced, we know that black bears usually aren't going to harm you unless, you know, something's wrong with their head, or they're protecting their cubs, or they're just starving. But usually you can scare black bears away with just making yourself big and yelling. So yeah, we saw the bear, and the way it was running was kind of towards the campsite. So we were moving towards the river a little bit to try to get away from it, and that's when we saw two little black bear cubs that were kind of in the direction the mom bear was running to. They were on sort of the other side of the campsite, sort of on the river's edge. So we saw the mom running over there, and we got worried because we remember reading that black bears will attack if their cubs are threatened. And we were in an area where we weren't actually between the mom and her cubs, but we were closer to the cubs than we'd like to be. So we kind of moved up into the peninsula, and we just sort of saw the black bear just kind of hanging around by the camp area. We could see it every once in a while, patches of its fur just through the trees. And, you know, we felt kind of trapped out in the peninsula there. So going through our heads at the time, we were almost sort of panicking because we weren't experienced in that at all. And we were going through the options in our head. Option 1, get eaten by a bear. Option 2, jump into the river and probably die. So, you know, it wasn't actually that bad of a situation. So we eventually kind of smartened up and remembered, you know, what we'd been told, to make yourself big and, you know, scream and yell. So we started, you know, kind of just yelling like, hey bear, as we kind of walked back towards the camp area, which is probably about 50 yards away from where we were. And, you know, we actually happened to have bear spray, but it was in the camp. We didn't bring it with us to the river. So, you know, in hindsight, we probably should have done that. But yeah, so we hiked up there, started yelling, hey bear, and we were just scared out of our minds. We didn't want anything to do with this bear. So we packed up our camp and we moved location. But that was a pretty scary trip for us because, first of all, me almost dying of hypothermia. It wasn't actually that bad, but back then it felt really like awful. And then also seeing a bear. So, you know, thinking about it now, it was cool that we saw a bear. The area we were in was beautiful. It was a boreal forest. We were right by this flowing river. Now I would love it there, but back then it was just, it was horrible to us. So, yeah, that was just a little story of a camping trip gone wrong and seeing a bear. So, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed that little story. If you did, let me know. I'll be happy to share other stories that we've had, you know, other events that have happened to us throughout our kind of camping experience. So, yeah, feel free to ask in the comment section. I'm happy to tell some stories. And actually, because we've had that experience of not being prepared for the situation, it's kind of inspired us to get out into the outdoors more and learn through experience and through, you know, reading, things like that, you know, it's not actually that difficult to overcome a scenario like that, and you know, just by having the right skills and knowledge. And that's one of the main reasons that we kept moving on with this primitive camping bushcraft type goal that we had, and you know, got to where we are today, where we're both you know, I like to think that we're pretty decent at this kind of thing. So, you know, if you ever have a bad experience like that, make sure to use that as an inspiration to do better instead of being scared off by it. Alright, so it's getting pretty late out. As you can see, it's nice and dark. Brad and I are just gonna hang out by the fire for a little bit till we get tired, then probably just hit the hay and we'll get back to you guys in the morning. Alright everyone, got pretty cold last night, but it's morning now, so we're gonna go ahead and get warmed up with a fire, maybe get some tea going or something, we'll see. Should be good, just making a cup of tea. Alright everyone, my water seems to be boiling now, or at least it sounds like it. Hold us off the fire. Oh yeah, that's boiling. Go over here in my little pot holder. Alright, gonna make up some black tea, or just Earl Grey. It's nice to have in the morning after a cold night. Sort of warms you up a bit. Letting the water there. The tea is steep enough to drink, I'd say. That's good. It's always nice to have a warm drink on a cold morning. Really helps wake you up. Alright everyone, so I'm just gonna go through the gear that I brought out this last night. So first I'll just start with cooking. This is the Pathfinder cook set. Comes with a nice big water bottle, pot stand, a pot hanger, spork, and a little ferro rod. And also comes with this pot that I just have drying up here, and a lid. Nice little cook set. Probably do a review on it sometime in the future, so keep an eye open for that. When it comes to tools, I brought out a Condor cat part, and this is a USA plum axe or hatchet that I restored with the help of my brother Brad. If you want a restored American hatchet or axe, be sure to check out TimberlyUSA.com. We restore these and sell them, so if you're interested, just a leather belt. This is a Coleman, I believe, 40-degree bag. This is a pretty old bag, so I'm not completely sure, but I believe it's 40-degree. It's a mummy bag. It's not bad, but probably wouldn't recommend it. Baseball hat, and a bunch of paracord. This sort of tarp, and ferro rod we used was actually Brad's. It's his 6-inch. He has it packed away now, but I definitely recommend getting a 6-inch. It's a lot easier to use than a short little 2 or 3-inch ferro rod. So yeah, that's basically all the gear I brought out. A lot of paracord. You gotta remember to have that. So yeah. Oh, also the Everest bag here. Kind of a cheap bag. I just wanted to test it out, see how it worked, and you know, it's held up pretty good throughout my trips I've taken it out on. Just nice for a little overnighter. Alright everyone, I want to thank you guys for watching this Bushcraft overnighter video. We're just doing one night tonight. If you want to see any more videos like this, be sure to leave a comment telling us you want to see it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you enjoy what you see, and I'll catch you guys next time.